Hello everyone, welcome to our final lesson of Digital Presenter today. Today we're going to do a big summary, and since it's a home-based learning lesson, you're going to do a simple quiz to top it off, okay? So let's do a big recap. Now in this entire course, we learned two very big things. Firstly, how to be a good presenter and how we can make digital presentations. Now, we learned a bit more about digital presentations. We learned how we can all make good ones. And of course, the technical skills, how we can use PowerPoint. So on PowerPoint, we learned a few very important tools we can use to make a great presentation. We learned how to use slides. We learned about text. We learned about adding pictures, adding transition effects, as well as animation. Okay, so what Miss Claire's going to do today is I'm going to recap all of the important things we learned through a big summary. Okay, so let's start with the first one. Be a good presenter. So the best way to summarize this is to watch our good versus bad presentation skills again. Let's go.
Good versus bad. Presentation skills. 1. Arrive early. 2. Dress properly. 3. Be respectful. 'Good morning'. 'Thank you'. 4. Eye contact. 5. Body language. 6. Never face back to audience. 7. Speak clearly. Do not mumble. 8. Use visuals carefully. Thank you for listening.
Okay, so let's summarize the 8 tips we learned. Firstly, arrive early and prepared. Secondly, dress properly and eat well for energy. Third, be respectful and thoughtful. 4, make eye contact with your audience. Look at them. 5, watch your body language. No scratching, no dancing, no jumping around. 6, never turn your back to the audience. 7, speak clearly. And 8, use your visuals on the slide carefully. Okay? Don't put too many pictures on the slides. Alright? Okay. So those were our 8 tips on how we can all be good presenters. Now let's move on to the exciting part. How to make our own presentation. Okay, so we learned that in IT, we're going to use digital tools to do that. Okay, so firstly, we learned how we can make our presentation slides look really good. Okay, so let's recap that. So to make a good presentation, first you need to plan your slides or pages. Okay, all presentations always start with a title to introduce your presentation topic. Next, we have the contents to tell everyone what you're going to talk about in your presentation. Okay, and of course, the important one, we have the body of the presentation. All these are different body slides that talk about different parts of your presentation. So they could be talking about things in more detail. And finally, we always end our presentation with a good the end and always thank your audience for listening to you after. Okay? So now, What are the important things we need to have on each of these slides? We have to remember that if we want to make a good one, we have to always add a title in each slide. What is the content on that slide? You got to introduce it. Okay, if you were to add text, you have to keep your text short and sweet, maybe just 3 to 5 important points, easy to read font, make a big size 24 or bigger. Okay, and if you were to add some pictures, make sure your picture or media is relevant. Relevant means talk about the same thing on the slide. Okay, if Miss Cat slide is talking about egg stage or butterfly, I show egg stage or butterfly. Alright, simple as that. Okay, now moving on to the more interesting things. This year we learned how to use PowerPoint on Teams to make our presentation. So let's go through some of the important tools of it. Okay, so the first one, using slides. Okay, how do we add a slide? Okay, when you make a presentation, you always need to insert a new slide for like a new page or idea. Okay, so you click the insert button, click on new slide. You choose a style for your slide. We call this a layout. Okay, so your slide layout depends on what kind of slide you want. Is it a title slide? Is it a content slide? Content slide, we use title and content. If it's a body slide, we use to content. And if it's an ending slide, sometimes we add a section header. Okay? Now we also learn how to use our slides properly. So when we add our slides from the layout, we notice they have some boxes. Okay, so these are boxes we call media boxes for adding different kinds of media. Things like text, pictures, charts, and videos. Okay, we learned that to add text, very easy. Just click the box and type. And if we want to add other media, we can explore clicking the other tools inside the box. Okay, so very simple. And one thing cool about slides is you can add a design to it. Okay, so to add a design, very simply, once you're done adding in the content for your slide, PowerPoint should pop up some design options. Okay, if you don't see your design options once you finish typing your content, you can just click on the button design, then click onto the designer button. And then you will have some design ideas that you can use. Okay, so pick one that's suitable for your slide. Okay, so that's how you can make it look really nice and fanciful. Now, the next important thing about text is changing and adding a shape for text instead. Okay, so very easy. We know that we can add text by clicking on the media boxes and typing. Now, how do we change the look of it? What you can do is to click on your text, highlight, go to home. Okay, A up means increase size, A down means decrease size. You can make it bold or not. You can even change the color by clicking the arrow beside the A down. Okay, you can also add a shape to do that. Insert a shape, click on a shape box. Okay, arrange it nicely and resize it if you need to. You can change the shape fill by clicking the paint bucket under shape. Alright, choosing a suitable color so that your words and the shape can be seen. Okay, click the shape box to type on it. Highlight the text. Okay, you can increase it, decrease it, change the color. Alright, and change the style also. Okay, so there are many ways of adding text. You can just click and type on a media box, or you can add a shape. And to modify your text is to highlight it and go back to home and use the text tools. Okay, very simple. Now, what about pictures? We all love pictures. So adding pictures to your slide makes it really fun. To do this, go to Insert, go to Pictures, and you can choose from anywhere, from your device or Bing. So Bing is an online picture that you can find immediately. So type something that's relevant to your slide, click on the picture that you like the most, and don't forget to click Insert. After waiting a while, it should appear on your slide, and then you can shift it to place or resize it. Okay? Now, to make our slide even more exciting, we learn how to add transition effects to move from one slide to another. Okay, so how we do that? Very simply, on your slide you want to transit, go and find the transition button at the top. Okay, arrow down to choose a different transition effect or something you like. Okay, so once done, you can click on the slideshow button to preview it and test it out. Don't forget to click escape to go out. Okay, and finally, we also learned about animation. So this is more specific to add special effects to every object on your slide, or some of them. Okay, so you can choose. So to do this, first thing you need to do is to click on the object you want to animate. For example, my start button. Look for the animations button at the top. Okay, and then you can arrow down to choose different animation effect. Is it an entrance for coming in? Is it an emphasis on the page? Or is it an exit? How you want it to animate out. Okay, to preview it, you can also press the slideshow and take note of the number box that tells you the order of it. So you can choose to move your animation earlier or later. Okay, slideshow to preview it. And don't forget to click exit to exit the animation preview. Okay? So with that, Miss Claire has covered the big summary of all we learned for Digital Presenter. Okay, there are lots of great things you can do on PowerPoint, so it's really up to you to explore and learn on your own. You can also approach teachers for help if you need to. And today we're going to put our summarized knowledge to the test. Okay, so take the quiz button below on this page and let's try it out. Okay, all the best, have fun, enjoy the process. See you next time. Bye.